Our story today is about a small person and a big person, David and Goliath. But before we start, though, let's get Dave the dog to be with us. I'll just call him up.
All
Dave!
right.
Wow! Oh, you're very close to the camera.
Is he working?
I can see you, but a bit close up. Do you
Oh.
want to go back a bit?
Oh.
Oi! But come nearer. Too far. Hello. All right.
Oh, there you go.
It's good to see you again. Are you ready for the story?
Oh, how am you?
I'm good, thank you. I'm going to tell you a story about a big person and a little person, David and Goliath.
I'm a Dave.
You are. Well, this is David, and he is the youngest of the family, and he lives with his dad and his 7 brothers.
Was he a runt?
Runt. Well, yes, he's the smallest and youngest. So, yeah,
I'm
in a
the
way.
runt of my family
You're a runt.
too.
Well, you both got the same name and you're both the youngest. That's great.
Awesome.
So one day, David was told by his dad to go and visit his brothers and take them some lunch. And so he did what his dad told him to, and he made sure his sheep were safe because he's a shepherd boy. Made sure they were sheep were safe, and he took a big basket of food, lots of loaves of bread, cheese, and lots of goodies.
Did he have some bones?
No bones, not bones. This was for people. This is for all the soldiers, for his brothers and all his friends.
Oh, I got you.
To have lunch, yeah.
No dogs?
No dogs, no.
Did they have dogs?
I don't know. I don't think so. No, because what was going on was his brothers had joined the army, the Israelite army, because there was the bad guys called the Philistines, and they were trying to take all their stuff, all their land, all their homes, and their stuff, and they were bullying them. So David went over to give them some food, and when he got there, he saw that the Israelite army was on one big hill. And then on the other hill were the baddies, the Philistines. And in the middle, in the valley, they were coming to meet to fight. They were in all the soldiers getting ready.
Did they have like slides to come downhill?
No, it wasn't that steep. It wasn't like that. There were just these hills, and they came into the valley in the middle. And so what David saw next when he was talking to his brothers was this giant soldier stepped out from the army. He was huge.
Another scary story.
Well, this guy's big, but you've got to listen to the story because it's amazing. He's big. I'm
just going to sit down here a minute.
You're just going to wait there a minute. Well, it's funny you should say that because the Israelite army were quite frightened because he was 9 foot tall, which is as big as a house. And he was really big and he had all this armour on, like a big helmet and a big metal jacket.
I'm not 9 foot long.
No, you're not. No, you're not. And this is much bigger. He's like a giant. He's huge. And what happened was he kept being really rude to the Israelites. He was going, nah, 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 and he was like sticking his tongue out and making faces. And I can't repeat what he was saying. It was very rude.
That's terrible.
It's totally terrible. It was awful. And what Goliath was saying was, if someone fights him and they beats him at the fight, then they win and they get to keep all the stuff, all the land, all the homes, all the stuff.
That doesn't sound like a good plan if
No,
they lose.
If you lose it all. And of course, this guy was very big. So he'd been saying for 40 days and 40 nights, who is going to fight me? Anyway, this Goliath comes out and the Israelite army run away because they're too frightened.
Did he have an horse if he was there for 40 days talking?
No. He just kept coming back and telling them and going, nye, 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 and being all rude and bullying them, really. So David was, I can't believe this is happening. This is terrible. And he said, I will fight Goliath. And his brothers laughed up at him and said, you're too small. You go home. Go back to dad. Go back to your sheep.
I know how he feels.
Do you?
My brothers laughed at me too.
Oh, well, you
I
understand.
was little.
Because you're little, yeah. Well, that's what happened to David. Because he's little, they didn't think he could do it. Well, he said, hang on a minute. I protect my sheep, he said. And I protect them from lions and bears.
And tigers.
Yes. All kinds of wild animals. And he said that God helps him. God helps him.
I don't like cats.
No. Do you need protection from cats, do you? No, you do. Well, big cats like tigers. Yeah, is that what you mean?
The little cats too, they
Oh, little.
bully me.
Well,
They
they do have.
chase me and catch me tail.
Oh, they have sharp claws, don't they?
Yes.
Well, what happens next was basically David is very small, like you, the smallest of the family, but he's brave and he says, I can do this. And so they let him go and do this. He says, right, I'm going to fight because I know I can win. And do you know what he did? Before he went up to Goliath, he picked up 5 stones from a little stream. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smooth stones. And he popped them in his bag.
I could only count to 3.
Do you want to do
1,
that?
2, 3.
4, 5. There we go. We'll do it
1,
together.
2, 3.
4, 5. 5 stones. Okay. And he put them in his bag. And as he walked towards Goliath, and he got a sling and he had a big stick, his staff that he used.
Where's the stick?
Yes,
he's got.
it's
I like
huge.
sticks. Where's the stick?
He's got that and he's ready. And he ran towards Goliath. And do you know what he did? He took one of those 5 stones, put it in his sling, and he pinged it across, and it hit Goliath right in the forehead, and bang, Goliath fell to the ground.
That's a
collapsed.
bit violent, that.
No, but he had to sort him out, didn't he? Because he wasn't being very nice, was he?
Oh.
And so somebody had to do something. So David was very brave. And do you know what happened? The Philistine army ran away because they were too frightened now. The shoe was on the other foot.
I've got 4 feet.
You've got 4 feet.
I'd have to have 2 shoes on
You
2
would.
feet.
Two shoes on the other 2 feet. Yes.
Well, they're not actually feet, they're paws.
They're paws. Yeah, absolutely.
Just saying.
Well, you know what? David was victorious. He won the battle for the Israelites. He had beaten Goliath with God's help. And do you know what? He did it. He was a small boy. He was the runt like you, Dave, and he did it with 1 small stone. How about
That's
that?
kind of awesome, really.
Did you like that story?
Well, apart from the dead bit.
Well, what do you mean? Oh, he got knocked out. Yeah, Goliath got knocked out. Yeah.
He had a big bruise on his head.
He wasn't very well after that. But he won, didn't he? And they didn't have to give their stuff away. So they got their stuff back, which is good. That's really good. So it's a happy ending. Sorry it was a bit scary. Were you all right, Dave?
Well, yes.
Yes. I'm glad about it. It is a happy story. And we're glad it ends well. Well, thank you for joining us, Dave. We'll say goodbye. See you next time.
All right.
Bye. That was story time.